evening, everybody, or anybody. I haven't been live in over a week. It's been a crazy week. So I thought I would just pop on here and at least give you guys some updates. If anybody's here, I come live at weird times, and I was in the middle of downloading something and it took a little longer than I thought. Sorry about that. For anybody that's been waiting, I apologize. It's been a chaotic week, starting with tons of paperwork, the in real life stuff we have to do. And then it's like another chapter of our lives has begun. It seems like as soon as I let go, we talk about balance, this place being so backwards and inverted, and we blame ourselves or we hold on to things that aren't necessarily our fault. And when we release them, we can move forward. And it was like we were in a holding pattern for quite a while. Nothing was going on, nothing was moving forward when it came to what happened to our daughter last April. And from talking to attorneys, district attorney, and then them contacting us back, telling us that we needed to contact this certain department. We contacted this certain department, which called us back within 24 hours and put a task force, and has already for us it seems like it went really super fast, where to somebody else that's been observing this go on for this long, it seems like it's taken them forever to do anything in reference to our daughter being killed. But let me explain what happened. There was a communication breakdown. So when it was passed over to the DA's office, they thought then the city was going to take care of things. And so they thought they were done. They did their investigation and handed it over. And so they hadn't heard anything since until I called. And it had been 16 months later. So when I contacted them, they contacted me back within 24 hours and apologized up one side, down the other. They had gotten in contact with the district attorney, and they assigned a task force that I didn't even know that they had. I didn't even know the Highway Patrol had such a thing. And the men that were responsible were arrested in less than 24 hours. And they've already had their first hearing on Friday. And we're not looking for justice. We're not looking for revenge. We're not looking for anything except for this to be put in the past. To let her go. Just, let her be released from this world in all manners, forms, and fashions. So that's moving for us very, very quickly, considering I was on the phone with the DA last Monday. Tuesday, the Highway Patrol Department was calling back. By Wednesday, they found somebody who's off-grid, mind you. They found them, and they found both of them, and they've been arrested, and we're moving forward. So we can, like I said, I need all the strength that I can possibly get from all you lovely people to stand for my daughter, to be her voice, to speak for what has been, stolen from her and lost to us. But at the same time, we don't want justice or revenge. We just want the truth, and we want this to be over with, so, nothing else is tying her here. So now let's talk a little bit about balance. I had to let go of some things that, I didn't even realize. Hi, Rick Swain, how are you? I didn't realize that I was even holding on to. Sometimes we'll hold on, or we will toss things back onto ourselves, or we'll introspect and we will think that something is our fault, or we will self blame, when a lot of times we need to raise above that, look at the situation, and find some balance in it. Sometimes it's better just to vent it out and let go, purge it out and let go. Don't hold on to these things, because when we hold on to these things, we could be holding back progress of other things that need to filter and purge out from our system, from from the work that we need to do here, from the transmuting that we need to do, because many of us are transmuting energies. We're taking energies that are and what they, because energy is neutral until we assign it a task, and then when we assign it the task, we can pick up energy that's been assigned a task. And sometimes we hold that energy a little too close to our heart, and we don't let go of it as fast as we should, and transmute it and send it back out with the new mission, like with a hug and a kiss, with love, and to do good, do something positive for humanity, do something beautiful, do something wonderful. Especially when it hits close to home, or it's directed at us, or it's from somebody that we love or we care about. I often talk about polarization, not to polarize, try not to polarize. And that means on everything, and that goes for me too, to not take sides in any regard, because I always find out whenever I take sides that I'm not getting the entire story of all the facts surrounding the entire situation, and then I've just polarized and taken a side without full knowledge of everything that's going on, and I'm not the judge. So since I'm not the judge, I shouldn't be polarizing regardless. I shouldn't be making a determination on who's right, or who I should protect, or who I should stand with and who I should not. Now, each of those are personal decisions as for our day-to-day life, but I'm talking about situations that occur that are outside of our control, that we are basically spectators, and as we're watching it, if it's a friend or somebody that's near and dear to our heart, we will want to think we know better, but we don't, because we're not the other party. We're not involved. We're not directly involved. Where we're directly involved, we need to absolutely take the actions appropriate for the best outcome possible. But when we're not, we need to really work hard, and this is myself included, to not polarize. Do not take one side over another, because we just don't know. We don't know unless we've walked a mile in somebody's shoes on what's going on within them. So once I released that, I purged out all that negative stuff that was, it was coming from all weird directions and stuff, and I was like, wah! I just had like a purge of it. And then in TikTok time, all of this has transpired. So that's telling me it's time to move on. It's time to let her go. It's time for her to fly and do whatever her next mission is, and to let go of her from this realm. And for me to be strong enough, not nickeling myself out to all of these different disputes amongst my friends and choosing sides and being polarized, but to retract myself, transmute that energy, and then to focus on the tasks at hand. Each of us have different tasks at hand, different things that we are each to be working on within our scope, within our field. Each of us has our own forte, our own training, so to speak, and what we are working with. Whether you were fully consciously aware of it or not, you're doing it. You're already doing it. But if I can give anybody any kind of advice, it would be to let go of anything that has you upset or stirred, that you do not have direct that it is not one to one, you to them, confrontation. You don't have to deal with it. Don't carry a burden that's not yours. Just don't set it down. We've got so much work to do and so much bigger and better things that we need to be working on. Those things will weigh us down, and they'll keep us from getting done what we need to get done. Say hi to everybody. Hi Fee, how are you? Hi my 5D, or I mean my Sky's 5D. I'm on the black screen so you guys know I can't read it. And we got Alien Intellect. Oh, I like your name. I like it. So how are you guys? I'm so glad I found my mission. Yay! That is so awesome. That's great, Mike. That is so awesome. I am so happy for you. I mean, transmuting energy is a mission and a half already, and let alone to be, trying not to pick up what's not ours. I mean, when it's not ours, it's not ours. I mean, just purge it out, let it go, transmute it, hug it, kiss it, send it on its way, and because there's bigger and better things that we need to be working on. We are moving along so fast now. I'm telling you guys, it was like nothing was going on with that case at all for 16 months. 16 months. And from Monday after I did that live stream a week ago, by Wednesday, they were picked up already. What? I mean, my husband and I were shocked. Plus, I had went through, oh my gosh, thousands of documents that I had to get done and filed. Also, I mean, things are, the work is being done in real life, the emotional, the purging, the cleansing, the purification, the transmuting, the grounding. I do want to talk a little bit about there seems to be like 3 categories. I was going to do a video on this. I probably still will. There seems to be like 3 categories of this. There are those that absolutely will not wake up. They just won't. It's just not going to happen. Then you've got those that are awakened, that are just willing just to give out what they know to anybody and everybody that will take it. And then you have the awakened that keep it as secret. They keep it as secret because with what we're gaining here, you think about like secret societies and things of that nature. What they know, or what they have the gnosis of, is and what they use it for is different than what we would want. We want everybody else to know this about themselves. Everybody should know this about themselves. Where they want to use it because by keeping it from the masses, they can control using, technologies, flicker rates, and different things of that nature to keep people in the dark. But once you awaken and you know what is going on, and you become this vessel of this being that God created us to be, source, whatever, higher self, it doesn't matter. Labels don't matter, because as I've been studying and researching, like if you look in the Bible, it's in there. If you look in hieroglyphs, it's in there. If you look in the Quran, it's in there. If you look in the Torah, it's in there. If you look through Indian culture and the ceremonies and things, it's in there. It is every single place. It's just they call it something different. It's but it's all the same. It's all the same. You just have to be able to see it. Once you can see it, you can't unsee it. And then you see it in every culture, that it's right there in plain sight. So nobody is left out. Anybody that wants it will have it. They can have it. And like I said, we got the people that want everybody to have it. And then you've got the people that want it because they know that they can control people with it. We know that. We know that you can control people with that. But we have no desire to control anybody. Nor we haven't known the information for, 50 or 100 or 200 300 years where our families have passed down this gnosis to rat hole a piggy bank full where we can own some major networks or anything either. We're just average, everyday people coming into the full awareness. And once we come into the full awareness and have our full consciousness completely activated, you are no longer subjected to anything that they try to throw at you. You see right through it. You can trace it right back. You can push it back, push it away from yourself. We have defenses. And that's why we want everybody to know this about themselves. And so it breaks down into 3 fractions. But that one group that wants to keep it secret and keep everything in control, they've got that fear going. They sure do. I mean, they've got people afraid to look under a rock, or actually look into crystals, or, they're everything is so taboo by a religious standard. Like, I wouldn't say faith is not a bad thing. Absolutely not. And following Jesus, following Yeshua, Yeshua HaMashiach is how I know him. Yeshua, the anointed, the Christed. He was fully engaged, fully connected, full godhood. He was walking in it. And follow him and remember what he said. If we are stuck in a religion that promotes fear, or that we're looking for prophecy of destruction and things like that to be fulfilled, just know that you're sending your energy there. Just be aware of it, even in the slightest bit, and because faith is not a bad thing. And the things that Christ said, if you listen, look at the red letters and look at the parables, he'll bring you through it. He'll bring you out of it. I've been thinking a lot about Egypt. A lot of the things I've been sharing with you guys on a lot of the sacred teachings, sacred things that I've been told with the anointing oil from the pituitary and the pineal gland being created from the hypothalamus. Then it goes around. There's like a little sac that goes around the third eye, and it goes down your spine, and then it actually shoots back up and sits at the 33rd vertebrae for 3 days, and then it's resurrected. It's considered dead for 3 days. Come on, you guys, don't say it's not in the Bible, because it is. It's in the Bible. So there's so much information out there. No matter where you look, everybody has access to it in one way, shape, or form, if we let go of the fear. I was going to talk about Egypt a little bit. I was wondering, because I have been, I've been offline all week. I haven't been on YouTube at all. And I have been praying, meditating, and obviously court dates. And I had some paperwork. The paperwork I had done by Tuesday too, which was really odd. It's like over 1,000 documents I had to go through, and I had that done by Tuesday. Tuesday's when the highway patrol called, apologized, and by Wednesday they hadn't picked up, and then by Friday they had both went to their arraignment, and they're both still being held. So this court hearing is going to go tick-tock time, and we're going to release my daughter from any ties to this world. So anyway, you guys keep sending me energy for strength to get through that. But in the meantime, I've been looking into actually, I've had some videos that I've been dropping. They've been like time dropping throughout the week. I hope you guys have been watching those with some sacred teachings. And most of them will tie back to Egypt. I have a huge fascination with Egypt. And for some reason, I'm being shown when Akhenaten went into monotheism, that he actually is possibly the one who led the Hebrews out, and actually didn't lead them out of captivity. He actually led them into captivity under the Egyptian Book of the Dead, and then ended up making it to the Law of Moses, or something of that nature. I'm still getting information on that. I'm still praying and meditating on it. But when I was asking about that and I got that confirmation, I asked, it was showing me where I lived before, and I was in the middle of the ocean, and it was like showing me straight down in the middle of the ocean. And I think it's trying to say that, of course, the world was flooded. That did happen. So, it was like a confirmation, because the map did not look like our map that we supposedly have today. That, obviously is changing. Not only that, wherever it was that I lived before was underwater. It was really strange. I was like, what's going on here? So I was shown the Akhenaten, the monotheism type situation, and then I was shown that with the world was flooded. It was weird. And wherever I lived, it was now underwater. So when I get more information about that, I'll let you guys know. But it doesn't really matter where we come from in the past, but there must be some kind of relevance to it, or I wouldn't be being shown it. We always get information based on what it is that we're needing to know that will benefit us in our now moment. So even though I'm seeing something from way back, it still impacts us. It still has to do with something that's going on in this now moment. I hope that makes sense, because otherwise I would not be seeing it. Now, the Egyptian thing is something I am seeking. So there's a difference between when I'm seeking something or something is being given to me. The showing me that where I lived was now underwater was not something I was seeking. The world did not look the same. I also want to say, this is really weird too. Maybe you guys have an idea, or maybe somebody has seen something similar. Not only was where I came from, or wherever I lived, was underwater at that time, but it was square. It was not a globe. So it was square. When I was looking at it, I saw lots of ocean. I did see some land, but it did not look like here, but it was square. It was just, I didn't see any rotation, or it was not like that. It was square. I don't get it. So, I'm trying to still figure out what the heck that was about. I did listen to a Beyond Quantum Healing session that I had done after I got my certification. We practice on each other, and a lady did one on me, and I was listening back onto that recording, and I wish I would have put my my tablet closer to me so I could hear it better. But I heard something about that Metatron, the keeper of knowledge, is close by me. I didn't know who Metatron was. So I've done a little bit of research into that, and that actually has to do with sacred geometry. How cool is that? And also, Metatron apparently was a human and made it through and has such a love for mankind. He's one of the archangels that is assisting us at this time. I don't get messages directly from Metatron, so I don't want to postulate myself as that. I just want to say I found that pretty interesting in itself. And then when I was looking into sacred geometry, Metatron came up. Metatron's cube. And then Metatron's cube has every, all of the sacred geometry that creation is made from. Everything is within Metatron's cube, and I thought that was pretty awesome. And I heard that he is the one who goes back and forth to the Akashic and drops off information into the books of life. Now, I've heard that there's a bunch of us that are doing that also. We don't know that we're doing it, but we get the information through our experiences, through our eye gates, through our eye gate that is open and connected into our heart, and we cash it up into the Akashic records. Anything that gets deposited into the Akashic records, or the books of life, can always be reversed depending on the person. If somebody, like if something happens, and let's say I have to go and I'm offloading information, and that person does a 180, those records are cleared. Anything that would be usually things that are recorded in the Akashic are the simple things. You guys would not believe this, but if you stopped and smelled a flower, and I'm walking down the street and I catch a glimpse of it subconsciously, I'm consciously paying attention to where I'm walking to or whatever conversation, but I just subconsciously, so my subconscious or my soul, my spirit is now talking to yours. I would go and I would drop that in your Akashic. It's the little acts of kindness, those little things of beauty that get recorded in those records. You will be amazed when you go through, or if maybe you already have what they would call, it's appointed unto man once to die and then to judgment. A lot of times when we have our third eye open, or our awakening process, we go through what we call a judgment period. Some of us call it the dark night of the soul, 3 days of darkness. Any of this sound familiar, guys? So you're going through your judgment period. You're cleaning out your temple. All of that stuff gets purged out. And all of those random acts of kindness, smelling the flowers, petting your dog, feeding your cat, helping a stray, all those little things that you think nothing of, that's what stays. That's what stays. Do you guys have any questions? I know I've been gone for a week and I have just gotten dumped all kinds, obviously, of information dumps on me. And I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of live streaming while this case is going on. But as I can, I will pop in and update and see how everybody is doing, because I know we're doing awesome, because, oh my gosh, because I know we are. I've seen it. And so there's a bunch of us dropping off at the, at the Akashic Records, probably doing it at night. And maybe you'll remember it. It's pretty cool in there. If you get a chance and you pull your consciousness to look around in there, that building is absolutely gorgeous. Think about Superman's cave with all those crystals in it, okay? But, that doesn't even do it justice. Multiply that times 1,000 billion on how beautiful it is, and how big and how organized and how gorgeous. And the books are not really books. It's some... You'll know if you pass through there, and I can almost guarantee you most of us have been through there. We just probably don't remember it, because you're there and you think that, it's going to be like here, gotta type it all out. No, you only have to be in there for a flash and bam, everything's just taken, and it's just it's recorded, and you're gone. And you could have maybe 1,000 people worth of information that gets dumped that quick. But if you do get a chance to look around in that building, I call it a building. It's not a building. It's hard to describe it, except for gorgeous, beautiful, beyond comprehension. And like I said, what's being recorded in there is not exactly what people think. You think it's all bad stuff. Oh, you did this and you did that, or you stole a piece of bubble gum when you were 5 and that's in your Akashic record. No, when you were 5 and you picked up that hurt kitten and you brought it into the house and tried to put a Band-Aid on its paw because you didn't know any better on what to do. That kind of stuff is what is in your Akashic record. Every random act of kindness that you've ever done since you were just since you took your first breath. It is we are in such an amazing time, you guys, and just keep transmuting. And like I said, please, Do not make my same mistakes. Don't polarize. Try not to get too involved with certain people, not even me. Don't get too involved or caught up in anything that I've got going on. Do not try to protect or defend other people. We need to stand in the gap right now for those people that are not yet awakened yet. Don't worry about us awakened. We can congregate together. We can discuss things with one another. The last thing we should ever do is attack each other. Ever, ever. If it comes up and we are attacking each other, we need to purge, cleanse ourselves out, ground out, do what we need to do to get our house in order. Let go of that stuff. That's the last thing that we should ever be doing. We are the beacons of unconditional love. We should be reflecting that out and around us 24/7. And if we're not ground out, and it's okay to get mad. Do not get polarized. That scale goes up and down, swings both ways on that pendulum. If you think of a pendulum going back and forth, you know, like those little balls that they'll click the one and it'll tick, 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 tick. Okay? I think you get the idea. It's got all those little marbles or those steel balls in between, you know, and it ticks back and forth. Okay, think of that as you, and you want to keep your rhythm going, okay? But if you're stuck thinking, I can only think of positive things, you're ticking over here, but you can't click over here. So you've just walled this off. So guess what happens? You tick, 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 and you stop. Where you want to be tick, 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 tick. You want to be walking in perfect balance. If something gets you upset, something gets you angry, allow that process to happen and go ahead, ground out, filter it out, and process that. It is just energy. Energy's neutral. We set the intentions behind it. Do not send intentions or send energy out against another in anger. We know better, you guys. We know better. And so if we are being polarized or being pulled to one side or another of an argument, we are actually sending negative intentions and energy towards somebody, and we don't even know the whole story, and we have to stop doing that. So that's why I'm saying, don't take my side in anything. Don't, just do your job that you're here to do. You need to take care of you, and you need to take care of those that are not yet aware of what's going on around them. So that way, you can stand in that gap and transmute that energy. I talked to Doc Michaels, oh gosh, I'm thinking it was a couple weeks ago, week and a half ago maybe. He had made a comment in here because we were talking about transmuting energy. One awake person, one aware person can transmute 1,000 people who are asleep. So 1,000 people who are asleep and don't know what's going on. Let's say that they're listening to somebody that's saying, oh, I had a dream and a tsunami came and da-da-da-da-da, and they're listening to that, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, you peek in there, you see what's going on. Don't take a side in it, but transmute that energy. He was talking about that he thought that he probably transmuted about 3,000 people at something that he had just went to. And you know what? I think he's right. He is an energy transmuter. He can actually get the attention of high-end, very awake and aware individuals subconsciously. So if he's subconsciously speaking and they are hearing what he is relaying, then obviously his auric field that he is sending out around him is pure, and he's transmuting 24/7. So let's be like him. Let's do what he's doing. And I would just love someday for him to come on here and share that story of when he was a master builder building a beautiful temple. And I really want him to share his testimony with you guys, because I really think that we could really grow and learn a lot from it, about humility, about love, about not being polarized, and to stay in the equality, walking side by side with one another in this. We are in this together. I probably seem a little revved up because I haven't been live for a while, and not going to stay on long. And I had so much to tell you guys, and so much has happened so quickly, and so much information. Let me see. Oh, hey Doc. Yeah, I was talking about you. That was to you, buddy. Yeah, thank you, Fee. Yeah, it is. You know what? There's nothing. Our message is always the same. It's so pure. It's so pure. I mean, there. We can't go wrong, you guys. We can't go wrong. We're we're knocking it out and taking names, and it is in the betterment. Oh my goodness! I'm gonna tell you about a flash dream I had this morning. My husband and I, for some reason, we needed a lot of sleep over this past weekend. How was your 8-8, guys? Your Lionsgate? Everybody have a good Lionsgate 8-8 heart expansion? Yes, I did. I know I did. It was amazing. So I'm sure that it was for everybody else too. If you're here, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. I did do a little video talking about what Lionsgate actually is. You know, just like a little informational for people. A lot of people will shy away because they're like, oh, that's astrology, or that's numerology, oh, that's sacred geometry, oh, that's Illuminati, or that's, you know, what's the Jewish Kabbalah, or that, you know, all of these mystery schools. You know, you guys, you know what? We are mysteries. We are miracles. We are meant to be operating fully and functioning in all of these things, not 50%. We're not just land-based, 2-arm, 2-leg, 2-eye, 2 ears, 1 mouth beings. We are sentient beings. We have conscious, subconscious, soul, spirit, depth, heart, feelings, love. When we hurt ourselves, you know, we feel pain. When we get, when we have a loss in our family, our heart hurts. I mean, these are sentient. We are sentient beings. We are much more than just flesh and blood. We are so much more, so much more. And as we're transmuting this energy, you know, taking away the negativity and transmuting it and sending it, like I like to send it to my granddaughter. I like to take the whatever is coming towards me in a direction that, like, I had to purge that and transmute that energy. I had a little bit of problems with them. Actually, with some love and light people. I couldn't believe it. I was really shocked, but it doesn't matter. Don't get involved. But what I'm saying is I took that energy and I transmuted it and I shot it towards my granddaughter. I want to keep her pure. I want to keep her wholesome. I don't want her in any kind of binding or bondage. I want her to grow up knowing that she is unlimited potential. She can do and be anything. Anything. The only limits that we put on ourselves are put on us by others, or onto ourselves by others from listening to others. So stop doing that. We need to be listening to what's going on from within here, and we can grow up and be anything and everything because we are already that. Yes, amen to that. Yes, yes, yes. Lionsgate was beautiful. Yay, Brenda. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. Yes, I had a wonderful Lionsgate. It was just phenomenal, the purging, and then so much has happened in this past week. You guys, like I said, from an outsider looking in, from a lot of you guys that know, you know, that she was killed on April 26th of 2019, it seems like what's taking so long? Why haven't they done anything, right? Well, it was a communication breakdown. They didn't know. So when they found out and I made the phone call, within 24 hours for them to call me back, and then from 24 hours later making those arrests, and one of them was off grid. So that should tell you how well and how seriously that they took this. Let's get this done and let's get this put behind, let my daughter move on. You know, I want my daughter to move on, and it's not like she's really tied here. It's just I need to be strong enough to stand for her because you guys, you know, anybody who's lost a child, there's nothing like it. There's no pain like it. There's no loss like it. There's nothing that I can even compare to it. It is the worst thing that I've ever dealt with in my entire life. And I've been through some pretty nasty stuff in my life. And there's nothing like that. And I'm ready, you know, to stand there. You know, I can use your guys' help lifting me up. To send me some strength to be able to get through this, But let's get through this trial. Let's get through all of this and get it put behind us so I can just lay her to rest and we can heal in our hearts. Because this entire time that this has been going on, it was like putting us into a holding pattern. We couldn't move forward, or we couldn't heal. We couldn't, really move any direction with it, knowing that we're going to have to go into that courtroom and look at photographs and look at images and look at that evidence that's going to rip our heart, my heart especially, right open. So I need to, toughen up, for that, for her sake, and to be strong for her. To see, that's a long time to be staying in a holding pattern, because it would be like ripping a Band-Aid off of a young child, and how painful it would be, just to rip that scab and everything right off of my heart. So, we're working on that. We're going to be okay. The DA is going to go through all the evidence with us prior. So we're going to see everything beforehand. They're like taking care of everything so that it will not be so emotionally daunting on the family. Even with all of this craziness with this virus and everything going on, I didn't think they would do anything. They did. They picked him up. Court's going on, and we are allowed to be in the courtroom because I am her next of kin and I'm her mother. So they won't close the court for that. They may close it to the public or things like that, but they're special. I guess I wouldn't call it a privilege, because it's not a privilege to lose your child, but to be in the courtroom, I have a special right, I guess is what you call it, a right to be there on her behalf, So at least I can look at the gentleman and hopefully see that, she made an impact on their heart and on their life, and they can move past this and move on with their lives and continue on. I don't ever want to see anybody behind bars. It's not in my nature. I have forgiven them a long time ago, but with forgiving somebody, they have to want forgiveness. Can't forgive people that are not asking for forgiveness. That's a lesson that I had to learn too. If they're not asking for forgiveness, guys, let's stop giving away stuff when we can use that energy in other places, because there's a lot going on. There's so much. So just keep yourselves grounded. Walk in the grass barefoot, go swimming, hiking, whatever it is that you enjoy. Realize there's nothing here that can hurt you. If you have not yet got the oil or the oil in your lamp, if you're Christian, or the Third Eye Awakening, hit me up on email, contact me, or somebody else. There's so many of us that have been through this, that can be there walking beside you through this process. I do not ever want to be ahead of anybody, and I do not want to be behind anybody, because it doesn't matter when you wake up. Just like you think of the parable in the field. If you go in the field at the beginning of the day, or if you go in the last hour, the payment is the same. The payment is the same. The reward is the same, regardless. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's work. That's why I was saying, I'm sure a lot of you have already been through your dark night of the soul, 3 days of darkness, purging, those type of scenarios, your judgment day. That's what the Christians would call it. There's things that go on, to get your temple, to get your house in order. But it's worth it. Okay? Where some would do it through rites and rituals in a secret society, we're doing these things, and we are we're coming through, and we are reestablishing this place back for the people, by the people, and no lack for anyone. Oh, I was going to tell you what that quick dream, that dream flash was. It was shortly after seeing that water, and that where I used to live is underwater, and it was square. It was shortly after that one. Yeah. Okay. You guys are going to kind of laugh. Has anybody heard of In-N-Out Burger? If you haven't, they make they would have this like thing. They would put the big potato in, and it would cut the potato into the French fries and go straight into the fryer. And then it's actually supposed to be beef, and it's a real potato. And you would drive through, and by the time you put your order, and then they cut your potato as you ordered it. You got to the window, everything was fresh, right? There was this huge cookie sheet filled with doubles and french fries. I mean, there had to have been like 100 of them. And then I looked at another tray and there was Chinese food. And then I looked at another tray and it was like KFC. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? Are we having a party or what? So I don't know exactly what that means, except for that there's not going to be any lack. Where we're thinking there's going to be lack, there's not going to be lack, because it sure looked pretty abundant no matter what you were wanting or what you were, whether it was takeout food or something you wanted to cook at home. There was abundance. There was just trays and trays filled with this food. I was like, and In-N-Out happens to be like my favorite, so that one really caught my eye. So, yeah. Does anybody have any? Yeah, when In-N-Out Burger, remember? When you called Jason, when In-N-Out Burger, when you called, oh no, I did not know about that. Wow. So you know what In-N-Out Burger is. See, we didn't have them in Oklahoma, but we got them in California. I love In-N-Out Burger. And then of course the people that are from California know all about animal double doubles. I've never been an animal double or an animal french fry person. I don't like all that stuff on there, but yeah, I know a lot of people, and that's not on the menu. So you California natives, I'm sure you know exactly what that consists of. So that's about all that I wanted to share with you guys tonight. You know, keep on keeping on, keep transmuting. You know, if you haven't had the third eye complete awakening yet, keep pressing through, keep seeking, keep knocking, keep praying, meditating, whatever it is that you're doing, keep pressing through. It will happen. It's just and you'll know it when it happens. There's no denying it. There's absolutely no denying when this actually happens for you. And keep transmuting. Do not polarize. Don't take sides in arguments. Even if we think that we know that we know what we know, we may not actually know. Unless it has to do with us directly. And even when it has something to do with us directly, let's try and take a higher perspective. Try and take that vantage point of looking down at what we are doing as an actor and what position we're holding in that situation to see if we're making the proper choices for the best and highest outcome for everybody involved. Some things that, you know, I need to put into practice, and I am putting more into practice for myself. So that's about all I have for you guys today. I love you guys very much. I have some videos that are, I've had them made for a while. They're being time released, and if I have time, I may try and do a call-in show later on this week. Let's see, it's April 10th, April 8th is 2 days ago. Yes, it was Lionsgate. So we're probably still feeling and transmuting those energies. So yeah, I may do a call-in show in a couple days to see what you guys got from Lionsgate, because I'm sure as we are going through this, it's still like processing the energies, and the purity of those energies are coming through. I liked that the star Sirius lined up with the pyramid in Giza, the Great Pyramid in Giza. And you know, as I've been saying, for some reason I've been drawn to Egypt, and I have been finding a lot of gnosis in the Egyptian hieroglyphs, in their architecture, and similarities from what I've been taught, from what I've read in scripture, and with the Egyptian. I see the ties, like I said, but I see it in each culture. Everybody, there's really not any real excuse, except for there is that fear paradigm, that fear narrative out there, you guys. So, you know, when people are afraid of what we're talking about, it's best not to push. Just, you know, allow them to be, and you know what you got to do. You know what you got to do, and just do your transmuting, and to make sure that harm doesn't befall large groups of people, and that we do our best to transmute anything that comes in that could be misconstrued in a fear type paradigm, to push it out as something good, transmute it, transmute it in our mind with that paradigm shift, that renewing of our mind and our circumcised heart, you guys. You know we've got this. You know we've got this. And that is about all I've got. I was talking so fast. But I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. I love you guys, and always, always share what you know and listen so we can grow. And I'll try and do a call-in show either Wednesday or Thursday night to hear from you guys. What happened with you on Lionsgate. I definitely want to hear from My Skies 5D, either email or call in on your job. I'd love to hear your job, one way or the other, buddy. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Have yourself a wonderful night. Peace.